Osiris, get that Spartan some help.
Steady and ready, thanks.
Systems are locked.
Well, looks like you've done it. Never thought I'd thank the UNSC for a damn thing.
Hi, and welcome to a fairly standard Halo 5 review. I'm here. Where the fuck are you? The marketing for this game lied. The marketing pretty much made you think that Master Chief may be a traitor, and that Spartan Locke was gonna go all General Zod on Master Chief, going, "I will find him!" And that's not the case. In Halo 5 Guardians, the story is very much a middle chapter. I'm going to put that out there right up front. Halo 5's story begins with both Jameson Locke and Master Chief both still working for the UNSC. And then after both men's first missions, you start off as Locke in his first mission with Fireteam Osiris.
Fireteam Osiris. Over the last 72 hours, 5 colonies have experienced identical events. Massive destruction, Forerunner and Origin. And Dr. Catherine Elizabeth Halsey has managed to contact us. She claims to have information on these attacks.
Halsey is currently in Covenant custody on the surface of Kamchatka. Your mission is to insert behind enemy lines, retrieve Halsey, and bring her back to Infinity. Be advised, Dr. Halsey is accompanied by Covenant Supreme Leader Jul 'Mdama. If you have the opportunity...
Understood, Commander.
Good luck, Spartan Locke. Infinity out.
Tracking gear online.
Affirmative.
Say, before we make this jump, anybody want to say a few words?
I figure if God can hear how scared I am, so can everyone else. Locke, you buying first drink when we're done?
You ask, you buy. Fireteam Osiris, the light is green.
You jump to Chief, and then at the end of that second mission you find out some news about Cortana.
Chief. The domain is open. Meridian is next.
Cortana?
John, the reclamation is about to begin.
And that's what sets Chief off on his mission to find her.
Clear.
Time, Linda.
89 seconds.
Sierra 117 to Infinity. Argent Moon scuttled. I've reassigned Blue Team. Destination Meridian. Potential contact from Cortana.
Negative 117. Another team is already being prepped to deal with her.
What the hell?
You're to return to Infinity immediately.
Negative, Infinity. I don't like it.
Whoever they are, let's get to Meridian before they do.
Kelly, no.
No need to do this by yourself, Chief.
They won't court-martial all of us, right?
and pretty much after that you switch. You mostly play as Locke, but you switch back and forth from Locke to Master Chief. And Master Chief does still have quite a bit to do in the campaign. It's just most of the time you will be watching it rather than playing it because, yet again, you're playing as Locke and not Chief for most of the campaign. There are actually 15 chapters, which take 3 of those out because 3 of them are just kind of walking around missions where you hear what people are talking about and saying, and just, you don't really do anything. They're at most 2 to 3 minutes of just kind of listening to someone talk, non-cutscene, which I think they should have taken those out and just done them full cutscene.
Our systems have been compromised.
By the human AI, not the Covenant.
It is sabotage. We must respond.
We fight one enemy at a time. Today, the Covenant.
Over here, Osiris. I have located a means to activate the Guardian.
You have something for us, man?
This is a constructor, a Forerunner tool I can use to interface with the Guardian. Constructors were ubiquitous in Forerunner facilities. These hills are riddled with support stations for the Sanghelios Guardian. Palmer has the coordinates of one such station. Finding a constructor there should be simple.
Ready when you are, Osiris.
We're ready, Commander Palmer.
Okay, let's go.
Chief literally gets three chapters. They're long chapters, but 3. And they're very meaningful chapters, so I'm glad the ones he does have. Like, I'm thankful that he didn't have a bunch that were just kind of, you know, just shooting up stuff and that's about it. Locks are kind of a waste, but that's okay. This game is pretty much the combat evolved of Jameson Locke's story. This is the one to introduce his character, other than Nightfall. If you haven't seen Nightfall, see it. It was very good. This is the game to pretty much introduce him to the wider world who've only played the games. And this is... He's been getting a lot of heat, which I don't understand, because he's pretty much the exact same as Chief. If you look at the first few games. He's just, you know, a guy in a suit, and he kills things and does his mission, and that's it. That's it. That's all he does. That's all Chief did in the first game, and for most of the first 2 games, yes, because most of the story in Halo 2 was focused on the Arbiter, and then when you were Chief, you're like, alright, just shoot everything, and that's pretty much it. Blah, blah, blah. But we're not talking about 2, we're talking about 5. I really don't want to talk too much about the story other than the fact that what I already said was that it's about Chief trying to find Cortana and then Locke, who's pretty much tasked with finding Chief. Now, the marketing lied. It's not really about, you know, these 2 men squaring off in an epic Titanic battle. Because that does happen and it's a cool fight. But it's very... That's like 5 minutes of the story. That's it. Think of Halo 4 as Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope. And then, story-wise, think of this one, Halo 5, as Episode 5, Empire Strikes Back. Because Empire didn't really go anywhere. It furthered the characters. And that's kind of what Halo 5 does. It furthers a new character and gives you a bunch of characters to really sink your teeth into. Although you don't really get to unless you know the extended lore, because Chief's blue team, they don't really get much screen time other than, you know, in a couple of the cutscenes you get like 2 seconds with each of them, and then other than that you don't really get much talking with them while you're, you know, fighting and them reviving your ass when you get knocked down. Locke's team gets a lot more, obviously, because you spend more time with them, but again, you don't really have much time to bond with them. They're not really explained very well as characters. Like, Buck is the most entertaining character, but that's because he's played by Nathan Fillion.
The Locke. Every other Spartan, every soldier, when they hear about this, they're gonna hate us. You know that, right?
You're not the only one here because of him.
the other two were just kind of there as well. I mean, they don't really do anything and like of note. Most of the you know, your team is just kind of like there to be helpful, I guess, on the battlefield, even though the AI is occasionally and quite a lot a pain in the ass because well, wait, let me rephrase. The AI is okay when you're playing in single player. Although everybody just bookends right after your ass and tries to save you. Like, if you get knocked down, all three guys, well, three characters, are going to, you know, fire off and come straight at your ass. Nonetheless, of all the guys shooting at you and them, and most of the times they will get killed. But it's actually a lot worse when you have 2 to 3 or 4, 2 to 3 co-op partners, because I played through the campaign with one other person, one other real-life person, and then the other two were always AI. And they would always stick to me because I was the party leader or fire team leader. And then they would always, like, leave him. I felt like one of them should have been with me at all times, and one of them should have been with him at all times. But that didn't work out. And most of the time, the AI, when one of us would go down, the AI would come to us, but they would always randomly, like, they'd get right to us and then they'd stop. And keep getting shot, and then 2 seconds later, oh, got revived, and then they revive us, and or get killed while trying to wait and then revive, or just not, like, I could be falling on the ground, and there's a guy right next to me, you know, the guy who got me on the ground, who shot me into the ground, and now I'm calling for the revive, and my partner, who's not the real person, the AI partner's coming right at me. Doesn't even notice the bad guy, doesn't even shoot the bad guy, runs up to me, gets knocked out by the bad guy, and then we lose anyway. So the AI really isn't that good in this game. It's, you really, if you're going to play this and get the most enjoyment out of it, I would say play through it with 4 people. Well, 3 other people, because obviously you're the 4th.
Too many for me to ferry you to your destination. You need another path. At your location, there is passage to Sanayon's Undercity, which will allow direct access to the Guardian.
Thank you, Maki. Osiris, Maki said there's a way down. Find it.
Let's go!
Here's an elevator to the...
The story is very extended universe heavy, so like certain characters, like most of Blue Team, you're not going to know, and they're not going to really be explained, as I said, and most of the characters, especially like Buck was in Halo ODST, or Halo 3 ODST, and most of his story on how he got there is explained in the extended universe. So what I did was, actually, I went to Halo Follower on YouTube and Halo Lore, and while I was waiting for this game to come out. So if you're, you know, don't really know anything about it while you're playing, or beforehand or after you know you're gonna get the game or whatnot, I would recommend going there, those sites, because they help me figure out certain things leading up to the game. So I would recommend just going there and watching a few of their videos on it, and don't watch the spoiler ones, but just watch the ones on the extended universe leading up to Halo 5, because that'll really help you with certain knowing certain things about certain characters and whatnot, in and how they got to where they are in Halo 5. There are some really great moments that happen in this game. There aren't a lot, but most of them are spoilers, so I'm not going to say them, but just there are some great character moments in this game, especially for Master Chief, and 1 or 2 for Locke. But it is very good. Like, this is the middle chapter, so you can't really do much except let this one be like the Back to the Future 2, or as I said, Empire Strikes Back, where this one is really here to further the characters and set up what's going to come in the third, movie / game. Obviously, this one's game, but you're getting my idea. So this one didn't really have too much. It didn't really have an ending in essence. It leaves on a cliffhanger because it's setting itself up for the next game. Now, I didn't really spoil anything. It does leave on a cliffhanger. So, also think of it like Halo 2. Halo 2 left on like the worst cliffhanger ever. Oh, Chief, what are you doing on that shuttle?
We've got a new contact, unknown classification.
It isn't one of ours. Take it out.
This is Spartan 117.
Anyone hear me? Over.
Isolate that signal. Master Chief, you mind telling me what you're doing on that ship?
Sir, finishing this fight.
Sir, finishing this fight. And then that's it. And that one was, I will say, much more upbeat ending. You know, Chief's all like, I'm gonna be badass. Cut to, you know, the credits. And this one's much more somber. Like, think of it like Empire. Again, back to the Star Wars. Think of it like Empire. You know, think of it like Luke just got his hand cut off. The good guys lost. You know, it's a little bit more upbeat than that. It's a good ending for a middle chapter when you know that something's coming. You know, there's another game coming. If it leaves on this, terrible, horrible. But knowing that they're obviously going to make another game, this is, you know, the middle chapter. We are coming for that next game. Next game is like the third Return of the Jedi. It's going to be badass. Talking about multiplayer, has all the normal modes. You know, has Slayer, Capture the Flag, some zone control, you know, all the old ones. And now it has Breakout, which is actually my favorite mode, which is, I guess, the esports mode, where it's 4-on-4. And you pretty much just kill each other, or capture the flag in the middle and take it to the other opponent's home base. But you only get one revive or one life each round, and I really like that because it's a bit more about skill, and you only get like submachine guns, so everybody's got the same gun, unless, you know, there's guns littered around the arena, but everybody's kind of on equal footing for most of the match. And the matches are only 2 minutes long, and you have to score first 1 to 5 round wins.
Going one out.
Four on 3. 3 on 3. Three on 1. Round 1.
That is actually probably going to be my favorite mode, other than Warzone, which I'm warming up to, but I'll get into that in a second. Now, with Warzone, I had a bit of a problem with Warzone in the beginning because it feels just like in the first few matches, because it just feels like chaos. Like, think of Battlefield-size maps like Gold Rush, and then think of like Call of Duty style deaths where you just getting killed from out of nowhere, and you spawn, all of a sudden you turn left and now you're dead again, and kind of like that, where you're just dying left and right, or it's just such a huge map. There's a sniper over there, there's a guy with a battle rifle, all of a sudden you just spawn and you're running, and now you're dead. So that one, now I'm starting to come around on Warzone, because the cool thing about Warzone is it's a giant, think of, yet again, Gold Rush. Warzone has vehicles, it has, you know, the Banshees, it has the Warthogs, the Scorpions, has all these things, and it also has mini bosses around the map. Like, at certain points, there might be like a Promethean over here, or some Covenant over there, and they're AI controlled, and whoever kills them or takes down them, like there's a couple that are Banshee bosses or whatnot, will get points, and whoever gets to 1,000 points first wins. You know.
Level 3 Rex available.
It's fun. I'm warming up to it. But in the beginning, it's kind of one of those things where you're going to rack up the deaths. Because it's like chickens with their heads cut off. We're all running around, but I'm warming up to it. It's getting better. Also new is all the new Spartan abilities. You have the ground pound. You also have a jetpack-ish thing where you can jet to the left, jet to the right, jet back, jet forward. You also have your Spartan charge, which is pretty cool. Just remember to use it, because occasionally you'll run right by the guy, and then you'll be like, try to use it, and you'll be like, oh crap, I gotta be running. So you have to build up a little bit of speed. The only problem I have with the ground pound is it takes a few seconds, like 2 to 3 seconds, for it to really warm up. So if somebody, don't ever, like, be very sparing with this, because you'll get you killed. Like if they, oh shit, that guy's going, you know, you're dead. So just be careful with it, because it will get your ass killed, especially in like breakout. Don't ever use it in breakout, unless like you're in one of the stages. There's an invisibility thing. Use that and then do it, but don't do it other than that. It's very scary, because you'll die a lot with that ground pound thing. If just don't do it. Also, with Warzone comes these requisition packs. I don't really have a problem with them, because they're not really microtransactions in a way. Like, they look like they were built just to be there in general, but then they said, you know what? What if people don't want to, wait? All the people who aren't very good at Halo, aren't the Halo like fans that just want to, continuously play. What about them? Well, let's say give them $1.99 for this, and then $2.99 for that one, and so on and so forth. So it doesn't bother me. It shouldn't be here, but I see why it's there. So it doesn't really bother me. But just remember, there is a tiny bit of microtransactions, but they don't really affect the game at all, because you can still buy those packs, the gold and silver packs for requisitions, and that also leads into your customization. Most of the customizations are bought through those rec packs, which is actually a little annoying, because I keep getting guns when I'd really rather have helmets, body armor, and the whatnot, and the visors, all the things I really want to, the customization options for my Spartan. I'd rather have those, but I understand, because it's mainly for Warzone other than that. And, you get your certain uses for your Warthog, your Scorpions, and all that, and that's what the rec packs do. They give you like 5 Scorpions, 5 Warthogs, the Storm Rifles, they give you 5 of those, stuff like that, and you have to earn those through playing. Also comes with power-ups like the invisibility, or more armor, stuff like that, or speed boost as well. If I had to give this game a rating, I'm not sure what I would give it. I think it would be probably about an 8.5 or a 9.5. Somewhere in that 8 to 9 to 9.5. Not a 10. It's not a 10, because, as I said, the AI is very shoddy and just. And with the campaign, I said I liked it, and I do love it. I love it. I like it more than I liked Halo 1's campaign. I think a little bit. It's right around with Halo 2, because 4 and 3 are my 2 favorites. So 4 is my favorite. The cliffhanger does leave you a little annoyed, because you're set up for that big thing now we have for the next game, but while you're playing, it's like, okay, we're done? Oh God. So practically an 8 to a 9.5, somewhere in that general area. I'm not good with scores. I don't really like to say that. I recommend them on I think you should play it. It's worth the buy. $60, worth it to you. The multiplayer is great. The campaign is great, especially if you have friends to play it with. Buy this game. Buy it. It's worth your money. I mean, there's nothing really to not recommend, except for, yet again, the AI is kind of shoddy. But other than that, there's nothing really bad about this game. Just go in with this. If you're expecting an amazing story, it is. But remember, Empire Strikes Back. This one kind of leaves on a cliffhanger. This is Back to the Future 2.
The lightning bolt. 1885! September 1885!
Wait, Ken! Wait a minute! What's this all about?
He's alive! The doc's alive! He's in the Old West, but he's alive! Never did! You alright? You need any help? There's only one man who can help me.
It ends on a cliffhanger, and you know that's all I can say. I recommend this game to you. Go out and buy it, and let's play. Have a good one.